Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camper Report show, I am going to be wasting away again in Margaritaville, this time at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida. How about you, Mr. Zagami?
I've got a unique interview with a fellow named Butch Groves, and he's the inventor of Easy Grease and Go. It is something that every RV should have in their glove compartment or car because everybody has to grease their hitch ball. So I'll leave it at that, but it's a great interview. It's a great product, and the proceeds are going to a wonderful cause.
Great. And we got all the news of the week that we got from our friends at RV Business and Woodall's Magazine, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Can't do it without them.
Can't do it without them. And we'll be back with more of the Camper Report show right after this. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Camper Report show. My name is John DePietro. That gentleman over there is Bob Zagami. And Bob, you know what? There are a lot of ways that people can recreate, whether it's run, whether it's jog, whether it's hike, whether it's ride a bike. But the new one, it's got me pickled. It's pickleball. It's going crazy. And the campgrounds in the United States are working feverishly to try to build these new courts right on the site.
They cannot build them fast enough, and resorts and communities, especially down in Florida, they all have them. Yep. We've got over 12 of them, I think, yep, here, and there's people on those courts at 6 o'clock in the morning because they're lighted. They got lights on them too.
Right.
They're out there at 6 in the morning and they're out there at 8 o'clock at night. It's absolutely amazing. They have to sign up for a time slot, and you can only have it for an hour. And if you're not off, the next person says, "Hey, it's my turn. Get off the court." You know, it's crazy. It has gone crazy.
I was introduced to it probably 10 years ago at the Villages, which is up in Central Florida. And, it's a retirement community. And basically, I didn't know it was called pickleball. I thought it was mini tennis courts because basically it's similar to tennis, but you don't have to move. You just stand at one spot and hit the ball.
It's funny you say that. When I first saw them, I thought it was tennis courts for old people.
Right, exactly.
Slower.
Exactly. But it said they're up to 36 million people playing regularly. But that statistic is amazing in that it seemed to have an over 85% growth rate in the last year. And I know there's lots of parks now that, whether it's a Jellystone park or whether it's an upscale Class A only park, they're trying to get these pickleball courts built to
it grew overall 158.6% increase in players over the last 3 years. But it's a spike. I mean, it's just, it seems like everybody figured it out at one time. Yep. And campgrounds and the RV resorts, it can be an extra revenue source. They can rent the paddles and the balls. They can charge fees for the court. It is a low, I won't say a low energy, but low risk type of sport.
It's high energy. It's high energy, but it's low risk when it comes to.
The other thing is it's really a good family sport. It's tough playing golf. It's tough playing tennis. I mean, but kids play this as well as 80. We got people here in their 90s.
Yep.
That play this every day.
Yep. Well, the interesting thing is they're building there's a shopping, a supermarket that is closed here in Massachusetts, and they're putting about 12 pickleball courts in it. And, it's spreading all over the place. So it's
going to be an indoor pickleball court?
Indoors. Yep. And they don't have to have, they don't have to have the high ceiling. So they said it's affordable from a development perspective as well. So, what?
You're going to see it on TV. They've got their own national association. It's written up in different magazines. Yep. They have socials. They have tournaments amongst different campgrounds. Challenges. Different towns down here have, tournaments that you can sign up for and play. They actually had the national pickleball tournament down here a couple of months ago.
Yeah, so it's amazing.
People are actually making money off it, and they're gonna look like NASCAR drivers after a while. To start selling uniforms and
with the labels.
your favorite campground or resort, and they'll have that. But yeah, and the ones, it's the other interesting thing with the article was, yes, a lot of campgrounds and resorts have it, but when you look at the numbers, some of them only have 2 or 3% of their
Right.
land, or maybe 11%. They still have more tennis courts than they have pickleball courts, so they're replacing some of the tennis with the pickleball.
Yep.
Some campgrounds are just starting to add it, and they'll add 2 to 4. But it's one of those things that it's really just taking off. From a national standpoint, and at all different age levels. I mean, Yogi Bear said they started putting them in 20 years ago, but nobody's talked about it for the first 18 years. It was just there.
Yeah. Yeah. And, speaking of camping and campgrounds, you say you're going to see a lot of these pickleball courts cropping up all over the country. One brand of RV that you see cropping up all over the country, and is very successful, are Alliance products. And we know the owners pretty well and the people that run that company. And they're doing something very, very interesting, because they're honest enough to realize that, when you take an RV and you travel across the highways and byways of the United States, things are going to break. So what they have done is become proactive with the NRVTA and having annual events where seminars are being held at one location in Texas, and RVers learn how to fix their own rigs. Pretty interesting.
I think you're going to see a lot of companies follow the lead on this. This is an expansion of their customer experience program, and they want their customers to know more about the products and be comfortable fixing the products. And in fact, several members they do the whole class. This is the second time that they've done this particular class. It was last month in November when they had it down in Texas. So people come from all over the country to do it. Rod Boyer says the community is at the heart of what they do. It gets the company much closer to their customers and the support. So the customers get to know the support system, but they also get to learn their rigs and learn from other people. In fact, even Bill Martin, who's the VP of Customer Experience at Alliance, was down there the week that all of his customers were down there and going through the courses. And several of the owners they went down there to learn how to do maintenance on their own rigs and specific to Alliance. 3 of them learned so much they passed the test and became certified techs with NRVTA. So they get that, and they're going to continue it. They're going to have another one next year. But I think you'll start to see people in companies reach out to their customers like that, even maybe on some of the supplier products, somebody like a Truma or Gerard Awning, something, companies like that will start to open things up like this, because in the Alliance case at NRVTA, they have a campground down there. They all stay there. They have social gatherings at night. They go to class during the day. It's a great idea. And I'm not sure if it was Tony Flammy or Todd Henson that came up with it, or if it was Bill Martin at Alliance, but I think they have a home run with this, and I would love to see more.
And according to the class picture that they said, it looks like there's at least 100 people in that photo. Did you see that picture?
Yeah.
And which translates into 50 rigs. And again, these are people coming from all over the country to go to Texas. So that's cool. And another thing that people do all over the country is go to our national parks. And National Park Service has just announced that in 2024, there are going to be at least, I think, 5 or 6 days throughout the year that parks that normally charge an admission fee will be offering no admission cost. And you've probably got the whole list there. I know they start at
it is just about 6. Martin Luther King Day, first April 20th, well, January 15th for Martin Luther King, April 20th, which is the first day of National Park Week. June 19th is Juneteenth. August 4th is Great American Outdoors Day. September 28th is National Public Lands Day. And November 11th, of course, is Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
But the thing that's interesting, so you can sign up and you can go to all these free parks. Most people may not know, more than 300 of the country's national parks are free anyway, every day of the year.
I was amazed at that stat. I wrote it down. 300 of 400
Right.
are already free.
Right.
But, maybe people want to plan their days to, be around the big parks at that day. So,
Yep. And there's at least one in every state.
Yep.
You can the parks on a normal day run anywhere from $10 to $35, or you can get the national pass, which is $80 for the annual pass. More information at nps.gov or nps.app. But it's a great idea and applies only to the National Park Service fee. It does not apply to the other things when you get into the park. You can't, you don't get, you're not going to get free camping or free boat
food
services or some of the other amenities or user fees that you have in the park itself.
Yep. Cool.
And other government agencies have also caught on to it, because U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Bureau of Land Management, Bureau of Reclamation, U.S. Forest Service, and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers also have similar programs.
Imagine that, getting something for our money that we pay for.
Get some of your tax dollars back.
Our tax dollars at work. So one of the new programs that you've never heard of before, because it's just been invented, if you will. I can't take credit for
You're hearing it here first.
You're hearing it first. We hinted a little bit about it a couple weeks ago when we talked about a group of campers going from Florida to Quartzsite, Arizona, which is really coast to coast, because Quartzsite is just 16 miles from the California border. But RV business and Winnebago and RV Industry Association, Campers Inn, Spacious Skies Campground are getting together to sponsor one of my favorite campers, me, on this trip. And we'll be reporting on it for really the next 3 months. I mean, we kick off on January 3rd in Tallahassee. We'll be staying at a combination of parks throughout the country as we go across. But the interesting thing is this. It's 30 units that are going to be traversing the country. They all happen to be Views and Navions, which are Winnebago products. But it's a crawl. It's not a 50-yard dash trying to get across the country the fastest. And we limit our travel to less than 300 miles per day. And that 2,000-mile trip will take about 10 days. And, an extra day in New Orleans, an extra day in Texas, an extra day in New Mexico. It's really cool. And
you're taking Mary Beth with you.
Exactly. So,
of course, at your age, crawl is probably the appropriate word. So
crawl is
other people as old as you who are going on this trip.
Well, the interesting thing is when we get to Quartzsite, we're meeting up with 250 other coaches that are coming from California and Arizona, and even some are coming down from Alaska. So it's going to be a great group of people. We've never done this before. I mean, I've been RVing now for, I can't believe it's 20 years, but we've never done the big group thing. And it's going to be very interesting because, there are a lot of single female travelers that, I don't mean single whether married or not, but they're by themselves doing this trip. And they got together a few years ago and said, let's just do it for safety and security. And it's grown to this. So Bob Kelly is the ringmaster, and we're looking forward to it.
Yep, and we'll be reporting on it on all the programs. You'll be doing a lot of live shots and live interviews, and it's it's kind of interesting because it's not like you say it's a crawl. You're not in a hurry, and you don't have a lot of really hard, fast rules. So you'll be making things up as you go along. You'll be adding things to it. You'll be having stories. You'll encounter different people on the journey, both the ones that are in the caravan, but also the ones in the campgrounds and the places you go. So yeah, you won't run out of words and video, that's for sure.
Exactly. So we're looking forward to it. Again, special thanks to those sponsors: Winnebago, RV Industry Association, RV Business, Campers Inn, Spacious Skies Campground. We've got a couple others that are just about ready to jump on board with us. And speaking of jumping on board, we've got to jump off board because we've got two great stories coming up right here. Where, Mr. Zagami?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone.
All right, welcome back to the Camper Report show today, and my guest today is Butch Groves. And Butch, I'm going to let you give your background because it's a very unique background, and then we're going to get into talking about a great product that you've got for every RVer.
Well, we invented this easy grease and go so that we could grease hitches when we were traveling. It became a necessity when we were out west doing things, and we had a terrible squeak one day, and I stopped to fix it, and it took me forever to get grease off my hands and get back on the road. Approximately 45 minutes worth of time just wasted. So we came up with this idea, and in the process we ended up utilizing handicrafters, which is a group that uses disabled individuals of all disabilities to assemble the products, and it's been a blessing since.
Yeah, so the product is made in the USA, which is
100%
5 stars to begin with, but you kind of invented it because of a problem that you had with your own hitch and your own truck, and you understood the importance of lubing the hitches. And I think we could probably both agree that many people do not do that task because they don't like doing it.
No, there's no way. This is the only way. We have a patent on the product, the applicator. You can grease the hitch and not get anything on you. It is a high toxicity grease. It makes hooking and unhooking easier. It makes trailering safer because your truck and trailer are going to respond more as a unit, not as a drag along. It's just a whole lot easier to do everything. And it's the right amount of grease so you don't end up with that huge clump of dingleberries all over your ball that everybody gets grease all over them.
Well, and you don't get that metal on metal abrasion when you're driving down the highway, which drives everybody crazy.
Right, and it doesn't matter how big or small the load is. It's just constantly wearing away, and your latches and things are wearing out as you're going down the road. So to maintain your equipment and make sure you're as safe as you possibly can be, it's best to grease the hitch.
Yeah. And I was intrigued when I was introduced to you because of the potential in the RV marketplace when you consider, we got 10 million RVs on the road. And whether it's a motorhome with a hitch in the back towing a car, or whether it's a truck and pickup that's towing a trailer, and that's just RVs. But when you think about the marketplace of ideas for this product, you got boats, you got commercial trailers, you've got gooseneck trailers, and you were into it from a standpoint of horses and horse trailers. So explain your work life that got you into the product design.
Well, we go out west every summer for 2 or 3 weeks to go trail riding, and my kids all rodeo and things. So I've been a farrier my whole life, putting shoes on horses for 45 years. And we've just adapted this product so it would be able to go in, it fits in your door pocket without any trouble at all. And you have it with you all the time. It doesn't matter if you go somewhere and stay for a week or two or a day and you unhook and rehook, you still can have grease to continue on your journey and protect everything that you're hauling, your family, your horses, the whole 9 yards. It's simplicity, how easy it works.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really, it's a handy thing to have with you when you're out on the road.
Sounds like it. Just had to stick a bunch of them in the glove compartment, or like you say, in the door pocket, and they'll always be there when you need it.
It saves you a lot of time too, because if you go to hook up and you realize you didn't grease, then you got to go in the shop or in your garage, find the grease. And if it's anybody's like me, the grease gun's always a mess and it's usually empty, and you have to reload it and then go back out. And then you have to clean your hands. And with the price of vehicles and stuff now, they're close to $100,000. Do you really want to get in with grease on your clothes and your hands and everything and go down the road if you're starting a trip for 8 to 10 hours?
Yeah, it's a valid point, protecting the investment.
Yep.
The other thing that intrigued me about you and the product and the company is where you're manufacturing it. So talk about a little bit more about handicrafters. We're going to put photos and URLs. We'll drop those into the video.
Okay.
Before it's
Well,
published.
the Handicrafters are an organization right near us here that the parents got together and started it when the kids graduated from the schools that they were available. So it's for young adults with all types of disabilities, and they just do a fantastic job. I mean, their precision, their caring, they assemble it from start to finish for us, and I couldn't be happier with them. They'll always have a large percentage of our business for the assembly. The personalities, and to see them just have the ability to provide for themselves. They get paid for doing it, and everybody wants to feel like they have, a worth in the world. They want to be able to supply and support themselves.
That's right. They want to be self-sufficient. They want to have that sense of accomplishment, and you're providing that to them by letting them manufacture the product. Now, I understand that you've only been out there a year or so, but you've taken it to a couple of the consumer shows like the Hershey Show, and have had some great success. So what are the consumers telling you about the product as you really start to ramp it up here?
Well, we've been out, we went live last August, and we have had really good reception. We've been in the mom and pop stores all the way out to Wyoming, Arizona, back through the east and southeast, Texas, Florida. We have a lot of places that are carrying it. But at the Hershey RV show was our first chance to revisit people that we had already sold to. And we got the response that we were so happy with, that people were actually coming back to the show looking for us to repurchase it because they had bought them. And funny side story, one woman drug her husband back to buy it, and he argued and complained because he had the grease gun, and he bought it, and he came back the next this year, and bought 10 of them because he had used his last one. He says, you'll never go back to doing it the old fashioned way. He's like, his wife was right, but don't tell her.
All right. For the time being, you have the website. So where do people find Grease and Go?
Well, we have our own
Easy Grease and Go.
Easy Grease and Go. We have our own website, and we sell on there, and we also sell on Amazon.
Okay.
Yep. So we're on Amazon to make it easy for everybody, because I think the world shops on Amazon, but we also have our own website.
I think you do. I think they do. Yeah.
But we are in the process of expanding. We've got some things. We're getting the interest of bigger companies that want to distribute it for us. So we're in the process of working on that. So that'll be incredible when we get that accomplished.
Well, I think it's a great product for our RV dealers around the country, because this is a product that they can put right next to the checkout counter or the cash register, because it's so small, but it's so active. And when people ask about it, they'll probably just pick up a 10-pack or a 3-pack to do that. And,
right.
It just provides them that hometown flavor, and the service department should have it too. A lot of service departments have parts and accessories that they can sell. Think of the number of vehicles that come in, whether it's a motorhome with a hitch or the hitch on a trailer. Just having them upsell to the customer and give it away. Now, the other possibility is it's so inexpensive and so easy to use. If they sell it in the parts and accessory store, I'd have the service department, every time they check out a customer, give them one of them and say, by the way, if you got an issue with your hitch, this is a great way to take care of it, and you can buy them over there in our parts and accessory store. I mean, I think it's just unlimited, the potential that you've got with this
product. Yeah, I think there's a large group of people that don't even realize they're supposed to grease the hitch or lubricate it for the safety's sake. And you just have to show them. And then once you explain it to them, you don't drive your car without oil, and you don't use your car if the brakes are gone. So the main pivot point between your truck and trailer you should maintain it and lubricate it so that it's going to be as responsive and as safe as you can. But there's just people are just unaware. They can go in and buy the RVs, and some people just don't realize that this is something they need to do for their own safety.
Yeah, and the Camper Report show here is consumer facing. We're part of the RV Life Network. They've got almost 2 million members out there, so we'll tell anybody and everybody that wants to listen to it. And this will be in this week's show. So my guest this morning is Butch Groves from Easy Grease and Go. Butch, anything that you wanted? Any last comments before I let you go?
Well, thank you for taking the time to put us on and helping us get this out there. I really do appreciate it. No. But the funniest thing is when you grease the hitch, it makes it unhook and hook easier, is one of the big things. Anybody that's unhooked a trailer and felt the better the truck come up with it, that's simply because it's not greased and it's grab and hold and it's bound.
Right.
And if you get over the top of the ball that's greased and you're half on, half off, it will fall on the ball when you lower it down. You don't have to be right over top of it 100% to make it work. It's just really good. And we really do appreciate you having this opportunity to talk to you about it. And we're very thankful that we live in an area where we have the ability to use handicrafters. What we did is our end goal is we want to do something for my granddaughter had spina bifida and had intraoral surgery. And when they do that at Children's Hospital here in Philadelphia, they have to stay within 20 minutes of the hospital. So our end goal is to be able to provide some financial and maybe even a home space for these people that are coming in from all over the country to have this surgery done. They do hundreds of them a year. And if we can help one or two have a place to stay while they're here with somebody going through the same thing, that would be the biggest blessing.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a great product. It's a product that's needed in the industry. It's it's manufactured by great people. They're giving those an opportunity for a sustainable work environment. And with an end goal of building a house or getting some kind of a property, I'll tell you, it's a great story, and any way that we can help you get that story out there and let the RVing community and all those other communities know about it, we'll be happy to do so.
Well, I appreciate it very much.
All right, Butch, go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. My name is John DePietro, and I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to sing it because our audience will turn it off, but we are at the Margaritaville booth. We are in Pennsylvania at America's largest RV show. We are with Dawn and Abby. And ladies, welcome to up north.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. A lot of people up north in a few months are going to be down visiting you guys.
Yes, to escape the cold.
Escape the cold,
yes.
Right. But also, I'm told that your camps the campgrounds are the most hospitable in the industry. I mean, it's really a resort. It's not just a campground, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So we have 401 sites. We've got RV sites, we've got cabana cabins, and we are very family-friendly, pet-friendly. And of course, we always have the margaritas flowing and Jimmy Buffett music playing. So of course, we're hospitable. We're the happiest place to be, and it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, John.
Exactly.
You know that.
Exactly,
you know
because
that.
Florida is in the Eastern time zone, so there's a whole bunch of people that can take advantage of your fun. The thing is, a lot of people don't know where you're at. So tell us specifically where your property is at.
Sure, we're located in Central Florida. We're right between Orlando and Tampa in the town of Auburndale. It's a beautiful area. A little sleepy, right, Auburndale, but then you can go 30 minutes and be at Disney. You can go 30 minutes and be at the beach. So that makes this a perfect place. We're also adjacent to this Lake Myrtle Sports Park.
Not Myrtle Beach.
No, not Myrtle Beach. No, Lake Myrtle Sports Park, which gives you a lot of opportunity for exercises. There's a 36-mile bike trail just steps away from the resort as well. So we welcome bikes. We also rent golf carts. We have e-bikes. A lot to do. Activities every night. A mini golf course, which is pretty challenging. We've been told.
Yeah.
We've been told.
People
Yes.
do say that.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, we've got it all.
Yeah, and again, the name certainly rings a bell with everybody. As far as your particular property is concerned, you said 400, but you know, when I look on that picture, it looks like it was designed as an RV park, not something else that you said, well, let's turn into an RV park. Lots of amenities right in the center of the property. And how about activities, Abby? Are there scheduled activities, whether you be young or young at heart?
Yep, so we have activities for everyone. We have a whole activities team where their job is to bring the fun to the people staying at the resort. From morning to night, we have activities going for kids and adults, happy hours, Build-A-Bear sessions. We have a whole green, as you could see in that video, built out for different games like Gaga Ball and building competitions for those kids. But it's a way to just bring the family together, and everyone should have something to do, something fun.
Okay, so we're at an RV show.
Yeah.
Okay, which you presume everybody owns an RV or is going to buy one.
Yeah.
But if people still want to enjoy your environment but don't own an RV, do you provide any alternate accommodations?
We do. We have our cabana cabins. We have 75 of those, and think of them as tiny homes.
Tiny
they have
homes,
full
okay.
kitchens. They have king-size bedrooms. A beautiful shower. In fact, sofa. We also have bunk beds, so anybody that's traveling with children and you don't have that RV already, gives you a really good flavor of what you could expect if you move to the RV lifestyle. So we encourage that a lot of times, and we're
So
full.
kind of try it before you buy it.
Absolutely,
Right?
why not, right? And see if it's for you. And because there's a lot of togetherness, we know, in an RV.
Right,
So you,
Yes.
you might want to try it.
Togetherness,
Yes.
you know what? That's probably the nicest way to say it's pretty darn tight in here.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a great way to experience it.
Okay, how about website? I think I see one right there.
Absolutely, yes.
Camp Margaritaville, Auburndale.com.
Yeah.
Now, the situation is such that people have said if you want accommodations, you have to reserve well in advance. Is that the same with you guys to take advantage of the winter months?
January, February, March, for the most part, yes, we're relatively sold out. But we also have that last minute availability. So come and check us out. It's always worth a try on the website. It's an easy to book website, and kind of check it out and see if you like it. And then if you had something in your cart and you have particular dates, it'll send you a reminder. We see that you were looking and maybe the date's available. So, yeah.
And I think it's important to point out that everybody in the campground world knows is that you do get cancellation.
We do.
Yes.
So
yeah,
say, for
definitely.
example, you're looking now for, February, okay, and it says that particular dates that you want aren't available. Always keep calling back, right?
Yes, definitely. Give us a call. We do our best to try to keep everything up to date. If we do get a cancellation, you give us a call. You can book that right away. So,
Right. And even up to the day of the cancellation.
yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last minute weekend cancellations, people's plans change, and you might have a Thursday through Monday spot available last minute. So yeah, keep calling, checking on the website if you're looking for those winter months that book up a little bit quicker.
And
So-
we do have a phenomenal reservations team,
Yes,
and they will
definitely.
put you on a wait list, and they're great about calling you back.
And I have to ask you this question, but you know what? You get bad weather during September, October, November in Florida, hurricanes that come through. You guys have been unscathed, right?
We really have,
Yeah.
because of the position where we are in Central Florida. We're not along the coast.
Yeah.
So Mother Nature has been good to us. We always have preparation plans if necessary. We've got a wonderful new app, so it allows us to give alerts and tells people, should they take covers? Should they take down,
Yep.
their canopies and whatnot? But we really have been unscathed. We're really
blessed,
fortunate
yeah.
about where we are.
So somebody's not going to come down there and find blue tarps all over the place.
No,
We promise. No.
Okay. Okay. It is Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, John.
This is the Camp Report Show. This is the Camp Report Show.